Hello and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. So good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love a Sunday special, don't we?
We do. Smaller episodes. You guys know the drill.
Shareable. That's right. And listen, we're coming up on the anniversary here. We want you to send in all of your, first of all, we want, if you've been helped by this podcast in any way, we want how this podcast has helped you. Not overarching, like
Right.
we need
Not
real,
in a way like for our egos, but
No.
just in a way that actually feels like a real authentic
tangible
thing. Yeah.
Right. Like you met your husband, met your girlfriend, met your
I used to
wife.
do this. Now I do that.
Right. Send that in. We want to hear from you. We also want updates. If
Yes.
we gave you
You
advice,
updates.
a you update. Yes. So if we've given you advice and we talked about your email, tell us what happened. Give us the part 2.
And listen, if we took our advice and it totally fucked you over, we want to hear from you too.
We love those ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be good patting ourselves on the back. If we
Right.
You took our, or we read something totally wrong.
Totally.
We'll take that too. But chances are we were right. So also send in those.
Right. We're probably right, but I would love an email that was like, Jared and Jordana, you pieces of shit. I've been waiting to talk to you for years. You're the reason I lost my wife. You know, like I want to hear that.
We're on that Billy Madison list of people to kill.
That's right. And then maybe you'll cross us off with lipstick after you write it out. It makes you feel better.
Exactly. So send it in, uup@betches.com. And we also have a running contest to win a Zoom conversation with Jared and I. You can send in those submissions. Just take a screenshot of you listening to the You Up With Benefits episode or any kind of proof that you subscribe to You Up With Benefits. And you can take that screenshot, send it in to sweeps@betches.com for a chance to win a private conversation with us truly.
That's right. So lucky you. So get involved. And what are we talking about today? We have a long email. Let's get into it. You ready?
We are. It's gonna. This is quite long.
You want me to read it?
Yeah. Why don't you read it?
I'll read it. Okay. This is a mountain.
Yeah.
I'll carry you up the mountain. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
J&J, longtime listener. I tune into all the pods. Love both y'all. This email is coming to you from NOLA,
Ooh.
New Orleans.
You know what's weird? I've never been to New Orleans.
What?
It's like one of the very few major cities in this country I haven't been to.
I
It's
think you
weird.
would love it.
Really?
Yes, it is a great town. I mean, Maddie.
She's from the French Quarter.
Oh, you're from?
I'm from Shreveport, so but I spent a lot of time there.
From the state. Yes.
From the state, Louisiana. I would say New Orleans. Oh, a treasure. What you're in the country, but you don't feel like you're in the country. It is like another
always
world.
a
It is
blast.
magical.
Okay.
Music, food, booze,
Yeah.
heat. I've very muggy. Let me get into my complaints about New Orleans.
Okay. Thought you just said I should go.
You should go, but don't. Be careful.
Okay.
I've always thought New Orleans isn't really built for the Jewish tummy.
Okay.
Sugary drinks, cream-based foods.
Okay.
It's a lot of that.
It sounds like you're at like a Dunkin' Donuts or like.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Okay.
You got to really.
Seminole slushy.
I have been to New Orleans on a bachelor party and spent half the time in the toilet. Like legitimately. Like I'm like, where's Jared? Oh yeah, Jared's in the toilet.
Okay.
But it has one of the best wine bars in the country. What is it called?
She's unfamiliar.
It's far away from anything. It's like highly rated. This isn't like Insider's Guide. What is it called? Bacchanal. That place is unbelievable. Very cool. I mean, the restaurants, the food is just like you can't get enough.
Is it good or because you're making it sound like?
Am I
lot?
not doing a good job?
You're
I wouldn't be
making
in the tourism, bro.
You're making the food sound like too much.
It is.
Okay.
That's the beauty of
But-
New Orleans. You don't come back from New Orleans and feel well.
Okay. It's not like the place for a wellness retreat.
No,
or
this
cleanse.
ain't, this ain't the, the breakers.
LA.
You're going to go to LA. You're not going to, the what's it called? What's the place in Western Massachusetts?
Berkshires?
You're not going to the Berkshires. You're not going to the health and wellness retreat.
Right.
You're going to chugging heavy cream and fun drinks that are like sugary and amazing.
Okay.
I mean, you can get other stuff. There's going to be one annoying person who emails, no, we have the best health food. You don't. You don't.
Okay, well,
But I mean, I'm encouraging people to go, but I'm always going to give a realistic encouragement.
I
This is
appreciate that.
Some people get like very weird.
you're never entirely flattering for any city.
Right. I'm not a flattering
Yeah.
person.
You live here. You talk about how much of a dump this place is all the time.
Absolutely. And I love it here. That's the thing. I'll review any city realistically.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You can't hold against me that like I'm not here to like impress you. This isn't an unimpressive recommendation of New Orleans.
Fair.
Right.
Okay.
You're gonna sweat your ass off. You're gonna shit your pants. You're gonna feel like shit after you're done. It is a wonderful place.
And that can double as the advice to this emailer.
Right. You're gonna shit your pants. So here's my situation. My boyfriend and I, who have dated for about 2 years, had a birthday this past week. I'm 26, he's 29 for context. We met 5 years ago. Through my sister and her husband, we've lived together for about a year. So they've lived together, not her
Yes,
and
not
the
all of
sister.
them.
They're not the Wonka
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. No. Okay. For his birthday, his parents were going to be out of town, so they invited us to dinner before the weekend to celebrate. My boyfriend chose an affordable restaurant that he loves. My relationship with them has been strained and awkward. Not from any big event that happened. I just don't think they know how to relate to me. I have spent a lot of time, vacations, dinners, etc. with them, and I've never gotten in a comfortable groove of conversation with them. My boyfriend has even stated that he feels different from them, and I have sensed he keeps them at arm's length. He even lived in a different city for 4 years, but chose to come back. He even has commented that they do not know what to do with me. Hey,
What to do with me?
Yeah,
Yeah, like she sounds like she's a big personality.
maybe that's
Right?
it. Yeah,
So-
what are you, Lucille
'Cause
Ball?
if you're sitting quietly like at a dinner, I don't know what are we gonna do with her.
Right.
Like I feel like you've got that. That to me is code for like big personality.
Right. I would also say, if we want to make assumptions, they're 20. They've been together. Have dated
5 years.
about. My boyfriend and I.
Oh,
They met
They
5
met
years
5 years ago.
ago.
They've dated 2 years.
They've been dating 2 years, and she's 26. So 5 years ago makes you 21 when you met. I don't know when you met the parents, but let's say you met the first day you started dating, 23, 4.
Mm-hmm.
24, if I'm a parent, I'm like, I'm not taking it. I don't know.
That seriously.
A little not seriously. Also, like, are you in the zone to meet a parent? You know, like, I don't know. There's a maturity level that I could understand where they never took it seriously. Then all of a sudden you're still here.
Right. Well, now they live together.
Now they live together.
That's a bigger move.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. As dinner went on, my boyfriend was fairly quiet. So I overcompensating by carrying most of the...
That's pointing to the big personality.
That's right.
to me.
This is it. When the check came, I had every intention of splitting it with them. Don't like that move.
That's weird. Yeah.
Since it was my boyfriend's birthday, before I could even say anything, his dad announced, "Let's split it." Ugh.
That's weird.
Now I hate him. I'm going back and forth.
We're not even done.
He put down a $60 gift card that my boyfriend gave to him for Christmas last year. That left me with the remainder of the check, which was more than $60.
Now I'm with her. Yeah.
Right, I'm with her, but I'm also like, at this point, get me the fuck out of here. You know, like at this point, I'm not like, oh, I paid 62 and
Yeah,
you paid.
right.
I
It
don't
wouldn't
give
be
a
about
shit.
that at that point.
Yeah, like the gift card. I don't care. Get me
Yeah.
away from these
Going
people.
to dinner with someone in their family and then you paying for half is like very weird.
It's very weird. I think
At
it's
20
weird to
and
even
you're-
offer of
And
her.
you're 24.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have even offered. Yeah.
embarrassed. Yeah, she's 25. How old is she? 26.
She's 26 now.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
Even whatever.
Even so, I also have given my boyfriend his birthday gifts already.
Relevant.
While I'm not cheap person at all, and I tend to love spending money on my loved ones and gift giving, I currently am not in the position to do so, which I would assume of a 26-year-old.
Fine. Yeah.
A little background. Oh, there's a lot of background. Since COVID, I lost my job and chose to go back for another degree for respiratory therapy, which is his parents are aware of. That means that I don't have an income for 2 years. I've cut back tremendously and feel an immense guilt for not being able to contribute the way I should. We live together and I contribute in every way except the mortgage. Oh. We have a roommate who pays this. It's funny. It's like the email keeps getting more horrible to me.
Our situation seems worse.
Right. Like I can't hide how snobby I am. Reading this, like I'll admit it. I'm a fucking snob. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
It's the
Fine.
idea of living with your significant other and a roommate is I would say, especially. I mean, you're coming at this. You're a 37-year-old.
37,
man.
right.
I don't think you're gonna be.
I would hope not. Yeah, but I it's funny when you read someone's thing and you get judgier and
Judgier as this goes on. I mean, I'm judging the parents more than her.
I'm with
that is
you.
Weirder.
We have a roommate who pays rent to offset my that cost. Currently, it takes a toll on me emotionally and mentally to not be able to contribute. However, my boyfriend has a high-paying job and is completely fine with our circumstances because he knows it's temporary and school is important. He does not support me fully by any means, and we split most things like groceries, dog care, etc. It may be noted that my boyfriend makes more money than his parents. That makes sense. Okay. I put my credit card down and had them charge it. My boyfriend saw the notification of the amount on my phone after it was charged and said that cannot be right. But he looked at the check and didn't say anything else. As we were walking out, his parents thanked him for dinner and left.
How is this whole meal for like at least 4 people $120?
In this day and age. Right. We're in inflation times.
Shocking,
yeah, it is pretty shocking. Well, she did say we went to his favorite
affordably
place.
placed restaurant. Maybe they weren't drinking.
I try that doesn't sound like these people are popping bottles.
Okay.
I tried to not show my agitation and shock, but I feel like that was very tacky and rude behavior. They didn't even consider splitting the remainder with me. He could sense my unease and offered to Venmo me for the dinner, which I declined because it's his birthday and he isn't responsible for his parents' behavior. I know we come from different upbringings. While I'm not spoiled and have worked for everything I've done, my parents would not treat him like that ever. On the contrary, they are fairly generous and do not make money a factor or expectation with their relationship with him. If they treat him to things, it's not even about the money for them. It's a gesture of showing that they are happy to have him in the family. I guess my question is, at what point am I allowed to have a conversation with my boyfriend about his parents and my inability to relate to them? This is not the first time I've felt taken advantage of. On a beach vacation, they left me to carry all of their belongings like a pack mule.
The visual for this is like quite, I'm
can't not laugh at
this.
it.
It's very funny.
Start carrying all the beach chairs.
This is a good time for the neigh. Yeah.
Right. Well, do mules neigh?
I don't know. What sound does a mule make?
I thought a mule would go like a donkey. There's a donkey.
I guess.
Pack mule. Make bread.
I know who's going to carry the bags. Their son's 26-year-old girlfriend.
Throw it on her back. They left me to carry all the belongings like a pack mule, make breakfast, watch the grandkids, etc. Another time they gifted us Jazz Fest posters. Another reason to visit NOLA, Jazz Fest.
Okay.
But said we had to help paint their living room. This turned out to be just me and my boyfriend painting the whole massive room while they watch TV or left to do other things.
This sounds so absurd that I am not even sure that it's true.
Right. Right. Well, it's so absurd that you're like, who cares? Like, I'm just not hanging with these people anymore. Like, I'd be like, I'm not going over to do, paint the living room. No, they can go fuck themselves. At what point do you just give up on a relationship with these people? I show I care for others by acts of service and giving gifts. However, I feel like this has now become an expectation of me for them. I've communicated to my boyfriend that I don't want them to dislike me, but I also don't know how to relate to them and bond with them outside of some sort of hired help for the family. She just comes in a workman's suit.
Sounds like an Orphan Annie. It's
right.
Writing in.
I know. I have to put up boundaries with them. They lock me in the basement.
Just like Harry Potter.
Right. I know I have to put up boundaries with them, but I know that will hurt them. Nothing worse than a sensitive person who makes you do a bunch of shit for them.
Yeah.
His sister is super kind to me and not like his parents. He has said he feels closest to her, but his brother ignores my presence. When it comes to my family, they're very open and loving and supportive of him and I can even tell he behaves more relaxed and natural around my family compared to his. He has even vocalized how different our families operate. I just don't know when I should pull back from trying to bond with them, which will hurt his feelings. I feel like he's self-conscious about them, but also defends them to a certain point at my expense, saying things like, well, that's just the way they are. There's no changing them. But I want him to acknowledge that I am not crazy or should defend me against their behavior. How am I supposed to be a part of his family like he is with mine when I can't find common ground and feel like I'm being taken advantage of? We have plans to get married soon, so I just want to get ahead of this before I'm actually the bitch daughter-in-law. Thanks for all the help and all you do. Love taming the monster-in-law. What do you think?
To me, it's so surprising how little she's making it about her boyfriend. Like if I went home, if I went home with my significant other and my parents were having them cook and hold the bags and watch the thing, I would not allow that to happen.
Right.
Or I would if they were splitting a dinner with my parents, I wouldn't allow the circumstance for that to happen. So to me, it's weird that she's like, how do I get along better with his family? It's like, how do you get your boyfriend to like defend you? Or
it's funny that I see it differently.
okay.
To me, the boyfriend is caught in a no-win situation. I mean, to me, I can't believe
like
she's
his parents
taking it
really
so
suck.
personally.
Okay.
Like, to me, she's like asking for the same relationship with his parents that she would have with her own, and that ain't going to happen. You've found that out. These ain't that type of
right.
people.
But the bigger issue is that he doesn't see there anything wrong with how his parents are acting.
Well, he does. He says that's just the way they are. He seems self-conscious. I mean, she says he's self-conscious.
But he still wants to hang out with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's his family.
I know, but some people are like, either again, they can recognize that they have a fucked up family,
Right.
and then like, again, preface that to their partner or give them a sense of you're not crazy. Like, my family is like kind of messed up and does these things. Or limit your own contact with them if you truly believe that. You can still have someone in your life, but not be that close to them.
Here's where I agree with you. She can't tiptoe around both.
Yeah.
She's tiptoeing around both. She's tiptoeing around the boyfriend and the family.
Yeah.
She needs to be upfront with the boyfriend to let him know what she's on board with and not on board with. And like, she needs to put more of I think she's got to be more direct with the boyfriend.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So, but I don't think she can't. I think where I get a little bit, where I don't see her side is like her taking it personally. I'm like,
that I agree with, because it's kind of, again, this is one of those scenarios where she's like, well, my family is so nice to him. Why
Right.
isn't his family so nice to me? They're different people.
right.
So it's like, don't ask like, why is your family doing this to me? It's like, why does your family do this? Is like more of like the bigger
Right.
the bigger question, because it's like, I don't think it's about you. It sounds like they're just weird.
I mean, this is going to work in her favor. She doesn't even realize if she doesn't make this personal, she can have everything she wants.
Okay.
Because she even says he's more comfortable around my family. I can see he feels like a different person. He feels normal when he's around my family. Around his, he's a little bit, more like on guard. And I'm sure he knows his family is fucked up. He knows these people are annoying and aren't loving and are unaware.
So say that.
Well, I think that's a hard thing to get over, to like come to terms with. And I think part of a relationship, and you'll probably agree with this, I don't know, I would think you would agree with this, is there's going to be an A grandparent and a B grandparent.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. And that's the way it always goes. There's going to be one you always spend time with and the one you make time for.
Sure.
She is going to get the life she wants.
Right.
Because it's already working out that way. He's already more comfortable with your family. You're going to get, they're the ones you're going to have to prepare for. Yours are the ones you're going to have to love being around.
He doesn't even know it's coming.
He doesn't even know it's coming. And I think when she does this, how could they do this to me? How could they make me pay? How do they not thank me? You're putting him in a position that isn't easy as a human to get over.
Well,
it's like when someone says, I got a feedback on I put up an Instagram post and someone got angry at it. And I don't listen. If you don't like the post, you don't like the post. That's fine. The way they got angry, I was like, well, fuck you. You know, like I wanted to be like, well, fuck off. Like you're not even seeing, you're not empathizing. I think it was like, I put up a stand-up video of, I do a joke about my 600-pound life. The joke is to say that like, I watch 600-Pound Life because I would rather watch 600-Pound Life than watch a show about me. Mm-hmm. If it was called My Chubby Life, I wouldn't watch the fucking show because I would be like, I can't watch myself.
Okay.
That's the whole premise of the joke. It has a percentage working rate of it does well every time I've done it.
Yeah.
Some people hear a joke about 600-Pound Life and they go, how could you be mean to bigger people?
Right.
That's their first reaction. They don't have any other, they have no other thought. They are so triggered by the idea of anyone making it. They don't see context and nuance and they take it personally. Sure. So they write on my thing, I'm surprised you would be mean. And I hear, you didn't even consider my intent. And I go, well, fuck you. Mm-hmm. I think when she makes it personal, she needs to, when she makes it like, how could you not see how they're treating me? It makes it, from his end, you're creating a place where he goes, how could you believe that I don't see you?
Well, it's like, you see me, but you're not doing anything. So
but it's the people that brought you up. It's the family that like,
fine,
that brought you. I can understand it's going to take time to get him to your side, but I think there's a way to massage that. Is my point.
I think to an extent, I would agree with that, right? If there's like a little something that's borderline, the way she describes it doesn't sound that borderline. It sounds like they're like pretty rude to her.
Right.
Right. And so for me, if someone I'm dating, his parents are being rude to me and they don't say anything or acknowledge that, or even if they're not going to say anything to their parents, acknowledge it to me, I would be turned off by that.
Sure.
I would be like, you think this is normal. And also like, maybe you think that family dynamic is normal. That's not something that I'm looking for as a family dynamic. So I think, again, I don't think it's bad that you necessarily have parents that aren't an ideal match for the other person. But if they're doing something that's like disrespectful or harmful to the person you're with, I think I would be annoyed about that.
Well, I think it helps if she came with rules to him.
Yeah, or she could say, don't say anything, fine, but if you're not going to protect me, I'm going to protect me. I'm not going to go to dinner with your parents.
Right. Well, or like, hey, hey, let's go to my parents. They're going to be doing a barbecue today, whatever it might be. And you say to them, I'm excited to go, but there's a few things I'm not going to do. And you're going to have to figure out how to make that not happen.
Right.
Like, you're going to have to, like, I don't want to paint the living room. I don't want to take care of the kids. I'm not coming to babysit.
Right. I'm surprised she would even have done this stuff in the first place, but sure.
I can understand she's trying to impress them.
Yeah.
She's trying to do, and she's young.
Right.
You know, she's 25, you know, like.
I'll make breakfast.
If that's what you want. And she thought making breakfast would get them to go, oh, she is great. Right. And then they don't do that. And she's like, what the fuck did I do all that shit for?
Yeah.
So I could go, if I were her, I'd be like, I am going to be a great girlfriend. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be wonderful. I'm going to be pleasant. But if they ask me to clean the garage, I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to find a way to leave. And I need you to figure out how to make it so I don't have to clean the garage.
That's fair.
Like, I think that's like, you know, and then the more uncomfortable he has to be, the less he's going to want to hang out with them. And the more your parents become the grandparents.
Right.
Because he goes, ugh, I don't want to. Every time I go over there, I gotta make sure that she's not, you know, putting up a birdhouse.
If that was the scenario with you, wouldn't you, like, if you had a girlfriend, you brought him home and your mom was like, great, here's a paintbrush. Wouldn't you be
I would go, what the hell is going on right now?
You would be like, she's not doing that.
But I've had my mom act like an asshole to people I brought home before. I've had that happen. It is so fucking uncomfortable.
And you don't say anything?
I say something, but you know, the idea that the way you say it, it's not going to happen right in that moment. Like, I'm going to find a way to say things in the way that I would feel comfortable saying it to my mom because we have 37 years of history.
Okay.
And I know that I have to deliver this in the way I guess I'm empathizing with him because I've been put in the position where it's like, give me a chance to figure this out. Is kind of my thinking. And I've been in that position where I go, not as much like clean the living room, but like you go, You go,
Well, that just seems so
"Fuck."
black and white.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of who's right or sometimes I feel like it's more clear than other times where it's
Right.
like I don't know what the example would be, but I think that would be fine. But as long as you did it,
Right. And then you do it, and then it doesn't go away.
right? I mean, wouldn't you expect that of someone that you were dating? You went to their house and say their dad was being just rude to you.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, I would expect that, but I would go, I guess this ain't gonna be.
You would just break up with him.
Not my big deal. This is something I'm gonna have to take into account.
Well, that's what I'm saying she should do. I would be turned off by that.
Right. No, I understand it. I'm falling into his shoes because I'm like, it does. First of all, mothers and sons, difficult. Especially when they have two boys.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
see that.
and
yeah.
I mean, you live that.
Yeah.
And you
You're
go,
the queen of the castle.
Queen of the Castle, and we got a new something walking in. And I've been in that scenario of you got to defend, and then you're not defending enough. And you go, but I did defend you. And then it happens again. And you go back to them what are you doing? And you're dealing with not just another woman, but also an older person. This is very black and white compared to
well, that's what
the
I'm
more applicable.
Yeah, I mean, part of my stance on this is just due to the nature of it being so blatantly rude.
Right. I would give rules.
Unless there's more to the story. If I would wonder if the parents wrote in, what would their side be?
I don't even think they write. I don't think they do anything.
They don't own a computer.
I think, to me, these two people sound like nothings. That they don't have any awareness. So that to me, that's why it's so simple. Because you're okay, I guess we're not going to fucking deal with these people that much.
Yeah.
We'll deal with them when
That's what
we
I'm saying.
want to.
I would just not go.
Right. I wouldn't, I would.
And then it's his problem if he wants you to go. Right, you said.
Why aren't you go? Why didn't so-and-so show up? Well, she didn't feel like doing yard work. Yeah, I think giving rules would help this.
Yeah. I would agree.
But
with
she,
that.
I
Or
think
don't do it. Set your own bound. I think it's about boundary setting
Right.
too. Set your own boundaries. I'm not going to do this when I go to this house, or I'm not going to go.
Right. And giving up on, if they don't like you, they don't like you. You're not going to have
Yeah.
the same relationship with them that you envisioned. The relationship you envisioned, you're not going to have the same relationship with them that your boyfriend has with your parents. Comparing the two will get you nowhere.
Yeah. And if he's not okay with you drawing your boundaries, maybe he's not the right person for you.
Right. It's more difficult than.
I'm sure in the nuances of this kind of thing, but I do think everyone can have whatever. No, you can't choose your family. Every family has their own
Right.
weird dynamic, but you can be. I think what makes a person going into someone else's family feel better, even if it's not an ideal situation, is the acknowledgement from the person that they're dating that things are the way they are, or that they should, or that that this is what it's like. You're not saying it's right, but this is what it's like.
Well, this is kind of back to the point of the gift card and all the information. The gift card doesn't matter. The who paid for dinner thing is weird. I think that's the thing she has to get across.
Family is weird.
Well, yeah, I think that would make her feel better. It's not blaming him. How, you should say something about your parents making me split the dinner. It's more, don't you? I think it's weird.
Don't
that
you? Yeah.
Don't do. How do you feel? Not don't you.
Right.
More because I think that's a better way to go about it. Here are the evidence. She gave a bunch of evidence that she can't blame him for.
Right.
Because that's just who they are, and just acknowledge, hey.
What do you think?
What do you think?
What did you think of that situation? What did you think of it when I carried all your family's bags into the vacation house, and then you guys all went out, and I was asked to stay back to watch the kids? What was your thought?
How did you feel
about that? Yeah,
that I think is a more healthy and beneficial conversation to her than well, in my house you don't have to do any of that stuff.
I wouldn't compare it to her house either.
No,
but anyway.
Well,
I
we
think
solved
did it.
dating again.
Proud of us.
People, share this episode with a friend. Let someone know. And subscribe to You Up With Benefits. Anything else?
Check out the YouTube page. You guys know what to do at this point.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Back on Wednesday. Boom.
The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.